Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Tactic Tuesday videos. So, Merry Christmas everyone! Hope you guys all had a lovely holiday season and a lovely Christmas. And I hope you guys did enjoy the end of our community challenge. Obviously it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun to take part of it. I hope you guys are excited to take part in more of those with the Discord. And if you do want to join, the link will be in the description below to join the Discord as well as other stuff. But what I want to talk about today is the tactic I used to absolutely smash it with Udinese. So it is right here. This is the target forward attack tactic that I've designed. It is built around Lorenzo Luca as well as Udinese, and it was designed around some key players. So people like Samardzic, Wallace, Bijol, Perez. I was considering some of the fullbacks in it as well, mostly just looking at one of their two attributes, but Delafeu and Luca as well, really designed around those guys, trying to get the best out of the team. But the biggest one was the target forward, because he's the key guy, Luca. Though we had to get him back from on loan, it was a big one. But you guys can learn way more about that in the recap for the save that came out yesterday. But this is the tactic that goes with it. We're going to talk a little bit about how it's played, what's designed, what the goals are for the tactic, how it's going to work, as well as I'll show you some clips from the test, as well as some with the team that I used in the community challenge as well, so you can see how those worked. Even in season 2, read some higher quality players and stuff, but you'll see that in this as well. We've tested with a few separate teams. I wanted to test with some weaker level teams and some better level teams. I found that you really need it's more of a typecast tactic. You're really gonna have to fit the roles well to get it to work, but it's a great tactic. It's brought me fantastic success, which you guys have seen yesterday, so it's amazing. It works so incredibly well, and it uses a target forward. Who doesn't love that? All right, everyone. So we are going to start chatting about the tactic that we have today, which is our 4-4-2 target forward attack. This one is definitely one that I really enjoyed. It was the big one I used for all of the community challenge save, which I talked about earlier, but it was fantastic, and it really worked incredibly well. So one of the things I want to talk to you about today, obviously with it, is how it sets up defensively, what we look to do in those areas, how we look to score goals, what we look to do in the build-up, which is going to be about 5 seconds, and then how the goals are scored and stuff like that. It's a pretty basic tactic. It's honestly one of the most basic ones I've ever made, but it's basic and effective in those ways because it is very basic. It's back to bare bones football. It's a very simple system, but it works really well. And sometimes being simple is the best way to be. So I'm going to show you guys how that's worked and how everything goes with that. So it is a 4-4-2 system. It is nothing special. It is a very classic 4-4-2. We got our target forward, our advanced forward, a midfielder that attacks, a midfielder that defends, two just basic center backs, wing backs that push forward a little bit, and then wingers that get down the line. And that's pretty much it. So it's that's kind of how it's designed. But one of the big thing is for build up this team, the way they build up is you get the ball with the goalkeeper, you hit it out wide. That's it. That's literally the build up. It's out wide or it's up to the target forward. That's it. That's our build up, because neither of these guys are really designed. Like, we have two center defenders on defend, we have a ball-winning midfielder on defend, and we have a center mid on attack. So they're going to go up, they're going to drop in a little more, they're going to go higher, and they're going to go here. So the best area to go is going to be to go out wide, because it's one of these two that gets it. You don't want to go inside here, because then also guys we want to be good on the ball. We want them to be good at heading the ball, want them to be aggressive, but we don't care about them passing. We care about these guys being aggressive ball winners. All three of these guys here, their goal is to win the ball back. That's their job. Then the kick it long. That's honestly all their job is. Win it, kick it long. That's all I want to see. Nothing else. So that's their role in the system. That's what it is really. Nothing crazy, nothing special, but that's what their job is. Now, when it comes to that, once we get it wide, the role of these two players here is to carry the ball forward. So they carry it down the wing. Either the fullback plays the winger in, or the winger gets it, plays to the fullback who can overlap at times. Doesn't really matter. But the goal is these two, in some combination of play, be it through carrying the ball and passing the ball in combination, get the ball down the line into these attacking areas. And once they're in those attacking areas is where the next phase of our play continues. So the way that works which, let's move these forwards more. Move the ball. All right, guys. Now, also, one of the things we have the goalkeeper on a super keeper role because he'll be more willing to play those balls out wide. And that's what I want him to do. But, so, the tactic will look probably something like this, more so an attack. These two will usually be staggered. These guys will be staggered as well. It'll kind of look a little more like this when we play. When you play in game, it'll be a little more staggered along those lines. They'll be a little deeper. So, the goal is, in the attacking third, is to get the ball out wide. Now, what we want to see is we want to see the 7 and the 11 getting on the ball and driving to the line. So their whole goal is to get the ball in these areas. We'll give them each a ball. Get into this area and go. That's their whole role. Get to the line, right? That's all I want from them. Get it, get to the line. That's your job. Because their goal in the end is to cross the ball into this area right here. That's where we want it. Because that's where our target forward is, and our advanced forward is going to be, and hopefully our center midfielder on attack is right here. So if the ball is headed clear, he gets it, shoots, gets it, plays it back out wide. And that's pretty much the simplicity of this tactic in terms of what it does. They're going to get the ball, drive to the line, and cross. Now, things can obviously change when they're looking to drive to the line, because sometimes, say, the defense is a high line. If the defense is a high line, we also want to encourage them to play the player in behind. So, play the ball in here, striker also runs in behind and scores. So an earlier cross, or a through ball, kind of more like that instead of an earlier cross. But those are also ideas as well. On top of that, if everyone's in the box here, and this guy's gotten to the byline, like this, and the center midfielder's attack is here, I want them to play it here, boom, he shoots and scores. So there's that as well. But really, in the attacking half, that's pretty much it. Like, that's the goal. It's nothing fancy. This tactic is basic as hell for me. It's super basic in terms of what we're looking to do there. Nothing crazy, just get it down the line and cross. There's obviously a little, like, there's probably more nuanced stuff, but that's really it. Like, obviously we have shorter passing on, which is just to encourage these passes instead of them going straight to this. We want this pass to this pass to this pass, which pulls the press onto us, meaning there's more room for us then to attack in behind. But in the end, it's a higher tempo. I want it to go ping here, 1, 1, 2, ping, 1, 2, ping, 1, 2, ping, dribble. That's what I want to see, really. That's why it's the higher tempo. And run a defense. Now, obviously, these guys can carry the ball as well, get here and cross too, but it doesn't really matter. It's one of these two players needs to cross. Now, the other thing we want to do is, if we do lose the ball in these areas, which is obviously a very keen possibility, and you'll see by the stats, this team loses the ball more than anyone else in the league. It's also because we are a little over-aggressive in what I have them do, but that's okay, because that's the goal of this tactic. It's not to be possession heavy. It's to get the ball out wide, get it down the line, and put the ball on the fucking massive head of your target man. And that's the goal. Guys, like, that's it, folks. It's get it on the fucking big-ass head of Lorenzo Luca, and he can fire it into the back of the net. And that's the tactic. Nothing fancy, nothing special, off the big man's noggin. But, say if, let's put this, AI team in, that doesn't need to exist. Let's go back to this so I don't just start drawing random shit. Right, so we got a back line. There's 6. We'll say there. Whatever. They've got some 2 center mids, a 9. Making them play a 4-3-3. I don't know why I chose this, but I did. Say we have the ball here, right? We play this pass. This guy picks it off. Great. Now we counter press hard, very aggressively. So he's got it here. And he was going to put pressure. Forces him to hit it long. We can win it back here. Boom. Knock it down. Our players got it. Then immediately out wide again. Now people are going to try to press. They're going to try to get forward. So he goes forwards. We've knocked it out to here. These guys are pressing up here. Guess what? Now they're spacing behind. We can play here. Boom. Down the line. He's got it. Run in, go. Cross, goal. And that's what we're looking for there, is that we're going to counter-press really aggressively and look to get it wide. And I have a clip of that as well, which I'll show, where we try to attack, we lose it, we counter-press, play it wide, and a chance is created from it. And that's kind of the big thing, is just counter-press really quickly, look to get it back, hit it down, play it wide, go. And that's the system. Obviously, we can play 1 or 2 passes into the middle to one of these two guys, but their goal is to go wide. That's the whole goal of it. Like, they're not really going to go up to the guys up front because they're also going to be pushed higher up. So there's always going to be a bit of a bigger gap here, like this. So it kind of instinctively tells them to pass to these areas here. I wish I could give that instruction, but the goal is to always really go to those areas because that's going to be where it's much better, much more successful in terms of doing that. So, yeah, that's kind of it in terms of the tactic and what we're looking to do. It's very basic, as I said, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. So that's that, and that's what I'm looking to do in that sense. So hope you guys did like that. Now onto the clips. I'll show you guys the few examples of 2 different types of goals we've scored, the way we counter press, as well as the way, actually, I just realized, I don't think we talked about how we defend deep. So when it comes to defending deep, that's another thing actually we probably need to talk about. So that's probably a good thing. I'm not gonna, that's just me forgetting things. So defending deep, we can delete this. They've got numbers forward. Sorry guys, this is me just being a little extra. So this guy has the ball, right? What we're going to do is probably press like this to force it wide. He's going to step here to cut off this ball, and he's going to be in front of him. So this guy's then going to have the chance to get it wide, right? So in front of deep, we're probably going to defend like this. These guys are going to cover one of the 6s and causing that issue as well. These guys will probably be pushed over a little bit more like this, kind of in their gaps. They'll then go wide. We'll have pressure here. This guy will cover over here. We'll have pressure here. Boom, he plays it on the line. Now we have pressure here, and we have pressure here. They can't do anything. We win it back. Boom, down the line. And that's kind of the thing, is that I want to make sure that we always are kind of applying some of that pressure, which is why the pressing intensity is really high, because if they get it into those areas out wide, we want to put the pressure on them. And we should hopefully be able to, because we're going to sit more narrow in defense. So there will be these gaps out here, which teams will try to exploit. So there'll be the gaps kind of in these areas here. And that's okay, because we'll let them get in those areas, because then we'll press the hell out of them. We can press the hell out of you there. I'm happy to press you there. I'm a little more concerned pressing you in this area. Say they have the ball right here. Like, I don't want to press them as much right here, because guess what? Beat one, you're done. Out wide, you can have a little more risk. You have the sideline to help you. It's a lot better scenario. So that's kind of where we want to do, is overload the middle, force it out wide, then aggressively press out wide, win the ball back, get it, and then we can drive down the line ourselves. And that's kind of how we're going to look to defend deep. So we've got examples of all this coming up from the clips. So we're going to hop over to the clips. I'll show you guys that, and then we'll get into the teams, how they all did. So here's one of the 2 examples of goals that I want to show you guys. So this one is going to be a cross. Luca was injured at this point, so he wasn't able to play these games. But this is a goal where you can see the cross work out. So we have it in possession. We can't get it wide. Now we've managed to work the angle to get it wide. Chance to play Pereira in. He's going to try to take it past, but he can't. So he's going to play it cross in early. Header there. And a goal. And that's as simple as it is. That's kind of what the idea is for the tactic. Get it wide, cross it in, boom, goal scored. It's that simple. It's really nothing crazy. All right, guys, so here's another example of a goal that I wanted to show you. Let's rewind this a little bit for you guys. So this one, funny enough, it's Luca that gets played behind here, but here's another one I want to show you of. That's something we can do with either side of the striker. So if we get it wide, and when we do that, there's the chance to play this ball into this channel here. So the striker makes a run like this. The ball gets played like that. They meet right here and play them in. It's also something I want to see, and it's perfectly shown here. Ball played in. Luca gets in behind the defender, finds the finish, and we've got a goal. And those are kind of the 2 ways that we're going to look to score mainly through those ways. Obviously, we can as well through some other ones, but that's kind of the main 2 ways that I wanted to show you guys. So that and then the crossing are kind of the two important ones. All right, guys, so I just wanted to show obviously some of the examples, and one of the ones we're going to talk about here is counter-pressing. And obviously, so probably most of you were a little confused, and I'm like, yeah, we're playing a really high line with this. And one of the things I wanted to do with that is, because I don't know, for me, I felt this year FME needs to have a high line to be successful, but also because of the fact that we are playing with 2 center backs, a ball-winning midfielder, and a center mid that goes forwards, we don't really have anyone that's a playmaker in that middle area. So because of that, we need to be high up and looking to counterpress to win ball back and then getting it wide right away. So this clip's going to show you how we look to get the ball wide quickly. When we lose it, how we press it back. Then finally, how we make a chance from the counterpressing by getting it wide quickly as well. So this is nearly everything you want to see in it. So first starts with a free kick. This free kick was won by hitting the ball up from a goal kick to Luka, who was then fouled, which gave us territory already, so you can see how that works. Then Perez goes to our right back. He's going to go back to our ball-playing defender, who's going to go, I'm going to get it wide. We try to get it wide right away. Pereira loses it. Luka presses. We win it back. We win it back through Wallace there. Then we go, all right, we get it wide. To the center mid, out wide to Kamara. Now, but look at the territory already in. See here, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I wanted to play this high line. Because if we look now, look at the numbers we have forwards already. Kamara, Tovan, Luka, Besti, Pereira. That's the right mid and the right back. That's the right back underlapping him. We have the center mid. We have the left back coming forwards as well. So many numbers forwards already, so we don't have to worry about ball progression. Kamara takes it wide. He's got now 1, 2, 3, 4 players all going into the box. Fessi's taking a position here. Wallace is covering this area, and Zamora is covering if it comes out there. Obviously, look, the cross is blocked, but still, you see how quickly we got it forwards, we moved it quick, we immediately won it back, got it wide, and got a counter-pressing opportunity from him. So that's what I'm kind of talking about in that sense of what we want to look for and what we want from that when we counter-press, win the ball back, and keep going for it. So here's a clip which is going to show a bit of how the defending works for this team and how we kind of have those two banks of 4 and how we can use our winger and our wingback to double up in terms of the pressing on out wide. So you can see here, they're building in their shape. They're passing our back line. We've pressed here, which is good. We've now forced them this way. They're going to this area. And look, as you can see already, we have 2 players here covering their guys. We have someone there covering him. 2 guys over here. 1 guy over here. And now look, Lovrich has got a free line to press Posh. He does, forces him well, goes, hey, you're only going to go in this wide area now because there's all the space over here. They can't threaten us. They got 1 guy out there, right? Now, obviously, Kamara is going to go. And on top of that, we even have Zamora, who can help out too, and Lovrich can help cover. So now look, ball goes wide. Guess what happens? Boom. Bodies going. Zamora, Kamara. Lovrich can cover back here. Perez can watch him once he gets into the area. Now look at this. 2 bodies on him. He's got nowhere to go but cross this. He's got 1 guy in the box. We have all of them covered here. He can turn and go back, but Lovrich is going to wait for it. And we have Tovan coming in to help stop it as well. Now Kamara wins it. And boom, he clears it down the line. Perfect. Exactly what we want to see. So that's just a bit of the clip of how the team defends and the shape, how we look to force it wide, and how we look to be able to win that back in those wide areas. So guys, as you can see in the test itself with Udinese, we tested with 3 teams, Udinese, Luton, and Getafe. Getafe was in a different test because my dumbass accidentally didn't do the... In essence, I made 3 managers, went and split them all on holiday, but forgot to assign one of them to Getafe. So I just made my own, I just made a separate save with Getafe. So we're not going to talk about me being a complete idiot, but I made him, I even put him in to June 3rd on holiday. I just forgot to give him a fucking team. I don't know how I did that. I was really dumb. But so Getafe, Luton, and Udinese were the 3 we tested with. I did Getafe because they play a 4-4-2. They have some players that work. They don't really totally have a target forward. Luton have a good target forward and are supposed to finish dead last and usually do, so I want to see how they do there. And then Udinese have Lorenzo Luca, so I thought it'd be a good one. Just some ideas of how I want to do it, and you can see how it came out. So, to give you guys an idea, you can see here, Lorenzo Luca, the best average rating, 20 goals, just in Serie A alone. He was only 2 behind Giroud for the leading scorer, had the 3rd best average rating in the league. You can also see here that in terms of assists, Roberto Pereira, Luka even got 10 assists as well. So he had 30-plus goal contributions in the league. Kamara, Samardzic, Zamora. So you can see the guys that are getting the assists. It's the guys that play wide in this system is where they're all coming from. But it's just, it's insane how well he did. So if you look here, 20 goals and 10 assists in 36 games in Serie A. Another level. The man's on another level. He's absolutely incredible. So just some stuff there to look. I mean, if you look at some of the Actually, we'll go to here. So even looking at this, like goal scorer, if we look at headers won, he's in the elite levels of headers won. Doesn't do too many dribbles, but really high non-penalty expected goals, shots, really high percentage of shots. Conversion rate could use some work, but that's okay. But again, we even look at how creative he is. Not the worst in some of the other stuff too. So it's just, he's insane. I mean, absolutely exceptional. He's so good in terms of where he ranks in these levels. He's the elite level on so many things. I mean, we look at even attacking in forwards. You want to look at some of the stuff how well he did here, even just compared to other Serie A players. The shots, he was so far ahead in terms of shots. He had a really high amount of assists per 90 minute non-penalty XG goals. Key passes was the same, but even progressive passes and open play assists as well. So just exceptional from him. Just really amazing, even if you want to see here. Not the most in terms of everyone else, but whereas open play, you got open play assists, we got goals per 90 minute, non-penalty XG per 90 minutes. I'm trying to see, any of these have headers, aerial duel percentage? Any of these? I don't think they have it here. But as you can just see here, where is it? Headers 1 per 90. I mean, it's insane. 6.91 headers 1 per 90. It's ridiculous. So you can see how insane he was with that. And even if we look at here, we had the most goals scored as well. So just insane amount of goals scored on top of that. We even look at the data hub. They're expected to finish 4th already, so even the XG is really good. But lots of crossing and accurate crossing as well. Lots of headers, not the greatest with them, but we had loads and loads of headers as well. But I think we'll look a little bit more at the actual stats of what happened. So, team overview. If we look, obviously we scored the most goals, but if we want to look at I want to go to detailed. I want to go down to overperformed like crazy. Sorry, where is it? Cross completion percentage. Not a lot, but look at crosses, 196 in terms of crosses completed. So insane amount of crosses and a high percentage of success as well at 15%. It'd be nice to have more than that, but it's still a ton of crosses, which is insane for us. So it's really nice to see. Even look at chances created tons of different chances, but really good conversion rate. But on top of that, if you look at passes completed, we're down to the bottom of passes completed. So we're not in possession loads, but we can create a lot of chances even when we're out of possession, which is really big for this system. So not a lot of passes, but tons of chances created. Tons of shots tons of shots on target as well. So you can really see 50% shot on target rate, which is insane. Shots per game, 12 shots per game. We'll learn a lot of fouls as well. A lot of dribbles completed. High amount of dribbles per game. So you can see, we lose possession very little as well. Like, we don't lose it a lot. Sorry, we lose it a lot. But that's because we're super direct. And the team plays really direct and is crossing a lot, but we lose it a lot. But if we go and look at here... Oops. Yeah, because I simmed the whole thing. If we look at team performance, if we go to here, all visuals, possession lost, you can see it's mainly lost up here. All right, we lose it a little bit back there because of the directness, but there's a lot that's lost down here, up here as well. We're going more direct, which is good to see. So you can see a lot of that stuff in terms of the way we play and how that stuff works, but it's just the team insane in terms of how well they were with crossing and all those things like that. Obviously, you saw some of the goals and stuff, but we look at last match, where all the shots are, all the key passes are from these areas out wide. You can even see in our pass map how crazy they are out to each side. They're just so heavily designed towards each wing. It's just so much of the outsides. You can see they force it heavily down the right side, which is fine. That's how it worked for us. I mean, penalty area, you look where these shots were coming in from. Sorry, that's Frozenone's. Where's our shot map? Do they not have it? No, that's annoying. But it's insane the amount of shots you can see all in here. All the shots taken in there. If we go and look, even at some of the heat maps, I'd say. So like, you look at that all in there, even the heat map of the team. It's heavily focused on one side. It's just get the ball, we're funneling it wide, getting it wide. Luka's the highest player. You got the center mid coming up a little bit to assist more, connecting with the striker, but it's really, really up there. And you see the same thing. They're just kind of clumping on each side. But I mean, the team itself is just, they're exceptional. It worked so well with Luka. He was insane, as I said. 20 goals, 10 assists. Just absolutely demolished the league in terms of how well he did. He's just amazing. Like, honestly, just incredible. And it worked so well with him up top. The other players you really want to pay attention for as well in terms of that. Pereira also did get 15 goals from the wing positions. He primarily played, if we go here. See here, he played mainly on the right for them as well. So that's where he played a lot of his positions. But he got a lot of goals too, but he also got a lot of assists because he's putting in a lot of crosses to Luka in the middle, which is the big thing there. So he's got a ton. On top of that, you got Zamora from left back getting a ton. Samardzic, same thing from the attacking midfield position. Tovan on left mid, because you're crossing so much. Guy on the right crosses, left mid gets in there, center mid gets in there, people like that. Tons of opportunities to score. On to Luton, though, who finished in 15th, but if we look, actually should have finished up in 12th. The team was really, really impressive in that sense. We look at overview. Adebayo got 13 goals and 3 assists playing as that target forward in the system. So even he did really, really well. We look at the Premier League. We look at, all right, goals. Guess what? Both of them tied for 7th for how well they did. Jacob Brown played the other striker role, heavily up there as well. 13 goals, 2 assists as that other striker. So you can see how well it worked, even for these guys, where there's multiple guys up top scoring a lot of goals. So it works. It can work really well with even weaker teams. Obviously, they did underachieve in terms of their team. They didn't score as many goals as expected. They didn't get as many points. But still, the fact that Luton survived by the margin they did is really impressive to me, in my opinion. Oops, is it going to glitch out? We can even see, again, thing I was saying about with Wolves, it's those groups on the outside, which we're looking for, those two kind of groups of players. On top of that, and you can even see here, Chong played up as the other striker, scored 2 goals as well. Heavily focusing the play down those sides. Look where the chances came from. All crossing in, all central shots. And that's what we're looking for. This is Wolves, I believe. Yeah. That's the thing I was saying. Is like, that's the design of the tactics. To get into those wide areas, cross the ball, score from those central areas, which they did really well. If we even go on to look at some of the stats. Look at team overview. Most tackles won. They won the most tackles in the game. But we look at team detailed. We go to some of those same things. So we look at shots per game. They're up there as well. Conversion rate, decent. Not as good as Udinese's, but still. They're not as good shooting wise, but they're still doing a lot of stuff. Lost the ball the most out of any team, but that's okay. Not the most shots on target. Still, look how many chances created. 7th in chances created. How about that? Passes completed. One of the lowest in passes completed. Oops. Crosses completed. 7th in crosses completed. Percentage, not the best percentage, which is probably why it didn't do as well as Udinese, but still. Look at even expected performing and stuff. They underperformed by a bit too. It hurt them. Fulham by so much, but still, like, they did really well in terms of that stuff. Even expected goals, they had the 7th best expected goals. And however, they beat out United, Brighton, Brentford, Tottenham, Fulham. Excuse me, they beat out some of the top guys in terms of expected goals for with this system as well. It really put them in a great spot in terms of scoring goals. So, it may not have been that the team itself did that well, but you know what? In terms of the underlying numbers, there's a lot of really good that Luton did for this team. I'm going to now load up the Getafe tactic, and there'll just be a quick cut because I got to load that up for you guys. All right, so here's the Getafe team and how they did. They finished 8th, but if we look at the underlying data, they should have been even higher. And that's the thing that I think is kind of clear with this tactic is you need a really good striker in terms of that target man position because it makes a big difference. I don't think it was Greenwood that played up there. Be very surprised if it was Greenwood. I think Greenwood played the other position. Yeah, he was the advanced forward. Who was the target forward for these guys? I think it was Borja Mayoral. Yeah, so Borja played the target forward role. Shit, where'd he go? Here it is. So he obviously didn't do as well, but 6 goals, 5 assists. Still pretty solid playing in a target forward role. But obviously, as you can also see, is that it can benefit the other position as well. So both your strikers can be really good and make a big impact. If you have someone who's really good, say like a Luca, he's going to dominate your goal scoring and stuff. But say you have someone who's as skilled as a Greenwood would be, he can also make a massive difference as that advanced forward role, scoring you ton of goals, which he did here as well. So it can work both ways for you in terms of how you want to play. Obviously, this was probably not the best team. In my head, I still thought they had... They do. Surprised Mata wasn't used as much. But in my mind, I was thinking of Jaime Mata as well as Unal as options to use as good, but I guess he's not as good as a target forward. Well, they were more so in my heads as the ones that would be used. But again, I simulated this all as the assistant coach took over, so they're not going to totally play everyone I was expecting, which doesn't work as well. But so you can see similar success in terms of all those things, in terms of what I'm looking for with this team. And even if we go and look at the assists, Oscar, who played on the left a ton, got a ton of assists. In the middle, Elena got a ton as well, and he was playing the center mid on attack role, the CDM role. But we look here, right back, right mid got a ton, left back got some more. So it's still those wide players are getting mainly a lot of the assists. They didn't score as much as others in terms of this, but they still did quite well in terms of the goals. So as you can see, definitely very much similar in terms of that. If we go to the last match, which was a big win for them, you can see, though, the same thing. Those wide groups tend to be dominating the play in terms of what we're looking for there, and it's heavily played down the two wings. A lot of the chances coming from out wide, and a lot of the shots becoming very central. So, again, that's what we're looking for. It's the same thing. I know a lot of tactics do look at it like that, but that's what we want to see. They managed to make it to the semifinals as well of the Cup, which is kind of crazy. So they should have finished up in 5th in European spots and made it to the semifinals. So you can see they did really, really well. And I'm really happy with how well Getafe did. It's for a team that didn't have the all out and out target forward that say like a Luton did, they still did really, really well. So that was nice to see. Plus, also Green got 5 goals in the last game, which is crazy to think. But now let's talk about the tactic and its setup of how it goes. So it is a 4-4-2 on a balanced mentality. If you know, I use custom on all of them, so no need to do any presets here. But it is on a custom mentality. You have a sweeper keeper on defend with no additional instructions. Your wingback support on the right has cross more often, dribble more, run wide with ball, sit narrower, and tackle harder. He will go further forward just instinctively due to the role. The left wing back on support is the same exact role. So you have right and left players, both wing back on support. Your 2 center mids, not center mids, are on central defender on defend, both with just tackle harder on them, nothing else. The right-sided winger is on get further forward, tackle harder, and mark tighter, and that's a winger on support. On your left mid, it's also a winger on support with the same instructions of get further forward, tackle harder, and mark tighter. The right center mid is the one, so in essence, this is one thing to be sure about. You can swap the sides, but make sure that the advanced forward and the center midfielder on attack are paired up vertically, and the ball-winning midfielder on defend and the target forward are paired up vertically as well. Those are the key things you need to do. So ball-winning midfielder on defend, no additional instructions. The center mid on attack is going to be dribble more and tackle harder. That's why he's got to get further forward. Your target forward has no additional instructions, and your advanced forward is dribble more and shoot more often. You have a balanced mentality, as I said. In possession, you have shorter passing, higher tempo, run at defense, and pass into space. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the flanks, and take long kicks. Then the team plays with a much more often trigger press, much higher defensive line, get stuck in, and step up more. So that's how the tactic is set up. That's how it's designed in terms of all those things there. I hope you guys are excited to test this tactic out on your own. I know it was a lot of fun for me. And if you guys check out the community challenge, you can see how effective it was in Season 1, just in the amazing run we went on, as well as how insane Season 2 was on top of that. So I hope you guys are excited to use this one. I know I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm really excited to see what target forwards you guys use and how well they do in this system. So everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy that target forward tactic. I know I'm a big fan of target forwards, being a Milan fan, having someone like Olivier Giroud and other people like that. It's absolutely incredible, so I adore it so much. And I hope you guys did see the excitement of Luka and how well he did too, because it was insane to see how, 30 plus goal contributions, just amazing player. So I highly suggest using him with the target forward, build that team around him, get some good pacey wingers, guys that get down the line and cross the ball, some good fullbacks, same exact thing, strong central defenders, a really dynamic center mid, really aggressive center mid, and a really technical advanced forward. You are golden with that team. It's incredible, and you can just see how well we did in the community challenge for it. It's just amazing. So hope you guys did enjoy it. I'm hoping to have more tactics like that, trying to use a little more different positions that aren't as commonly known. I do know that I want to try to work with an Enganche or a Chuck Batista to get a roll out of that. I've already done wide playmakers and registas, so I got that tactic, which worked really well. But I want to try to use some of the more unknown tactics. I know I've already done inverted fullback as well, so there's some stuff like that. But I hope you guys are excited to see how those tactics are going to work come future. If you have any more requests, please send them in. I'd love to know how more of them are and what you guys are looking for. But if you guys did enjoy that tactic, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss on any more tactics. If you guys also want to check out some other tactics, like some team-specific ones, like our one for Columbus Crew that came out a few weeks ago, or if you guys want to see just other various tactics we have, you can do so by checking out the tactic playlist at the end of this video. There's tons of them, from viewer request ones to just ones that I've made on my own. If you guys do want to have any requests in terms of positions or anything else, please feel free to put them in the description, or in the comment section below, where I'm happy to talk to you guys and let you know about any other tactics we might have coming out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys check out that stuff, there's tons to see tactic-wise, there's tons to see save-wise as well. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's, and I'll see you guys next year.